You are thirsty. Not the kind of thirsty where you glance at a water bottle on your desk. The kind where your mouth is dry, your head is pounding, and your body is sending one signal. Oberando verfaji. Now imagine you have no map, no phone, no pipes running under your feet, nothing but open land and everything your ancestors taught you to see. For roughly 300,000 years, this was the situation every human on Earth woke up to. And yet they survived across deserts, ice fields, and open savanna without a single drop of treated water. The answer is not luck. It is a science, a detailed inherited knowledge system your ancestors carried in their heads, the way you carry a password. And once you understand it, you will never look at a landscape the same way again. Here is the first thing most people get wrong. Ancient humans were not wandering randomly and stumbling onto rivers. They were reading. To a trained eye, the land is covered in text, and every piece of that text points toward water. The first layer of that text was animal behavior. Animals cannot survive without water any more than you can, and most large animals drink at predictable times, in predictable places. Your ancestors knew this. They tracked converging trails when multiple animal paths angled toward the same direction. That direction almost always leads to a water source. Elephant trails are especially reliable. Elephants need enormous quantities of water daily, and remember, water sources across decades. Birds were even more precise. Seed-eating birds, like doves, must drink every single day. They fly directly to water at dawn and dusk, in a straight line, low and fast. Your ancestors watched those flight paths the way you might check a navigation app. The anthropologist Richard Lee documented exactly this kind of ecological reading among the Juhonsi of the Kalahari beginning in the 1960s. The Juhonsi could identify over 200 plant and animal species by name and knew which ones signaled water nearby. This was not folk belief. It was precision science, passed through generations of observation. But animals were only one layer. Plants were the deeper signal. Certain plants grow only where their roots can reach water. Cottonwood trees, doom palms, reeds and cattails almost always mean water at or just below the surface. Dense, unusually green vegetation in an otherwise dry landscape is one of the most reliable signs a trained eye can spot from a distance. In Australia, Aboriginal communities developed one of the most sophisticated water-finding systems ever recorded. The practice of locating soaks, meaning hidden underground water pockets, was taught from childhood. You learned which grasses, which insects, which soil colors marked a hidden seep. Anthropologist John Bradley, who worked alongside Yanyuwa communities in the Northern Territory for decades, described this knowledge as a living map, not drawn on paper, built inside the mind. Every plant and landmark encoded as a route towards survival. Every adult in a hunter-gatherer band carried a detailed mental database of their territory, not just where the water was, but when it would be there. Seasonal pools that formed after rains, underground springs marked by specific plants, permanent sources versus temporary ones, and crucially, safe sources versus dangerous ones, because not all water is safe water. Your ancestors knew this too. Still, stagnant water near animal carcasses was avoided. Human sensitivity to the smell of decomposition is extraordinarily fine-tuned. It evolved precisely because drinking contaminated water could kill a group within days. Fast-moving water over rock was generally safer. Cold spring water emerging from the ground was often the safest of all. The Hadza people of Tanzania, studied extensively by researcher Frank Marlowe, prioritize spring water when available and carry community knowledge about which sources have made people sick in the past. Now let us reconstruct a morning. You wake before sunrise in a dry season camp. The nearest permanent river is 2 days' walk away. But yesterday, a scout returned with a report. A cluster of fig trees 3 hours north. Figs need deep water, Where figs grow, there is likely a spring. You move out while it is still cool. The trackers watch the soil shift from red to a slightly darker brun. They watch the slope of the land. Water pools at the base of slopes and in natural depressions. Then too, doves pass overhead, flying low and fast in the same direction you are heading. The trackers pick up the pace. You find the spring before the figs come into view. It is small, cold, clear. It smells like whetstone and nothing else. Fresh animal tracks from the night before surround it. The group drinks. This was not magic. Was method. And here is the part almost nobody talks about. Protecting the knowledge of how to find water was often harder than finding the water itself. Water knowledge was social currency. In many societies, knowing the location of a hidden seasonal spring was power. The anthropologist Polly Wiesner, who has studied the Juhonsi since the 1970s, documented a gift exchange network called Xaro. It served partly as a way to maintain relationships with people who lived near different water sources. If your dry season was severe, your partner 2 territories away had an obligation to receive you, to share their water. Your ancestors had built entire social systems designed to distribute water access across a network of people, a kind of insurance policy written in relationships instead of contracts. Agriculture changed all of this. When humans began settling around 10,000 years ago, they clustered near permanent water. The Nile, the Tigris, and Euphrates, the Indus. The ecological literacy your ancestors spent hundreds of thousands of years building began to erode. The water came to you. Then pipes were built. Then treatment plants. And now most people alive today have no idea what water finding knowledge even looks like. But here is what should stay with you. Your brain is built from the same architecture as those trackers watching doves at dawn. The capacity for that depth of environmental attention is not gone from you. It was simply never required. Every time you notice something unexpected in a landscape, a cluster of unusually green trees, animals moving in a specific direction, a shift in the soil, you are touching the edge of a system that once kept your entire species alive. You just have no map. And for 300,000 years, you never needed one.